Hey everybody, welcome back to Minigov Guy GIS Leadership Lunch and Learn event. Today's discussion is going to be an interesting one. I got a question to pose out to you, which is, have you ever passed on contributing to your department's mega lottery contribution? If you have, you may want to think again. Because what kind of implications would that have to your department if all your employees decided to go ahead and contribute to that lottery and you didn't, and now you're stuck with trying to produce the GIS efforts for your city? Really hard to do. So it's going to either do two things. It's either going to make you start now contributing, or secondly, start documenting your GIS procedures. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So we'll start exploring what is GIS procedures and what is that statement of work, why would you even want to have it, and what is in it. And so you're watching episode 11 of the GIS Leadership Lunch and Learn event. I am your host, Toby Soto. I am also the blogger behind minigovguy.com and the GIS manager for the city of Riverside. And these thoughts and opinions are of my own and not of my employer. So let's get into what is the GIS procedures or statement of work. And it's really your expectations of responsibilities for the processes that you do within your department. It has defined activities. It also has your deliverables and definitely your timelines. And why would you want to have this? You definitely want to have it to save your bacon, basically. If all hell breaks loose and you're the one who's trying to having to produce some of the products or help support some of the applications, you need to have some sort of documentation in hand for you to perform that process if your staff isn't available to do that. Especially in cases of emergencies. If maybe a staff member goes on maternity leave or has an accident or something of that nature, you could at least have some sort of documentation of your GIS processes and your procedures in order for you to pass that on to another staff member or do it yourself. It's also a great training material. By putting that document together, you're able to bring on new staff or cross-train with other staff the different things that you do within your department. And so that's a great material, training piece of material to be able to pass that along. It also keeps you fresh on your procedures and making sure that you're not replicating something, or there may be something actually a better way of doing things. So it's kind of a nice quality control check there. Also knowledge transfer, be able to transfer knowledge from one employee to another or from yourself to someone else on the procedures that you have in place. Also aids in troubleshooting. So if an application goes down or there's something that went awry with the data, you can actually look back at your procedures and make sure that you've performed all the steps that needed to be performed. Identifies responsibilities. Who is responsible for this data, or who is responsible for this process? That's definitely good to know. And definitely want to make sure that you have all this information definitely documented, and that's what we're going to hit next, is what exactly is in that statement of work, the GIS procedures. You're basically going to have a title for whatever it is that you're performing. You'll have who is it performed by, and also who is it performed for. So if it's data that's required for MSHCP, or let's say it's cultural resources for your planning department and you're responsible for taking care of that, you definitely want to state who this procedure is for. The scope of work, exactly what it is that you're responsible for. The notification cycle, how do you get notified that the data needs to be updated? Do you go through a help desk ticket system? Do you just go through email? Is there a certain person of contact in the department? You need to have those types of things laid out. Also, where's the GIS files reside? Is it a shape file that's in some sort of file location? Is it an STE? Is it up in the cloud? You need to know all those details of where the data is and where it resides. Also, any related data sets. Are there any relational databases, anything that's attached to that data that needs to be aware of or updated, and make sure that they're all in sync. Those are important things to know. Also, any enterprise applications that data may be used for, that would be good to know as well, because if something breaks, you can realize what applications that data resides to. The deliverables. What are you delivering when you perform this statement of work? Are you delivering hard copy maps? Are you delivering a new web app? You know, what is it that you're having to deliver? Or maybe it's just a data maintenance, so it just resides in the SDE or ArcGIS server. For all the newbies there. Also, timeline and constraints. You know, when do you have to have this process completed? Is this something that is kind of fit into my workload, or is this something that is time sensitive that I need to get out after the first week of the first of the month? You know, having those types of things would be very beneficial and crucial to know if that is something that has time dependency on it. And obviously some special notes. So you definitely want to know if there's something in particular that you should be knowing about with this procedure, and any caveats or any things that have to happen prior to or after working with these with this data. So that's it for this week's episode. You know, check out the show notes. I will have a sample statement of work down there that I use, and maybe you can use that as a template to help to establish your statement of work, because these are really important things to have, where you know you keep them on a either in paper form or definitely in a file location where you and your staff can get to in case of emergencies, or in case, you know, those things need to be updated. So I will have a sample, so check the show notes for that. You can download. Also, thank you for watching. And this has been really great to do this. I really enjoy doing this for you guys. And I'd like for you to take a moment, if you haven't already, subscribe and share this video with your colleagues. That would be greatly appreciated. And again, thank you. For more information about GIS Leadership Lunch and Learn, you can go to minigovguy.com. You can check all my social links there. And I will see you next week. So have a good one, and hope you guys have a great week. Take care. Bye.